Hello, everyone. Welcome back to A1 English Podcast, the podcast where real English meets real life. I'm Jack.
And I'm Jessica. We are so happy you are here with us today. Whether you are listening on your way to work, at home, or during a walk, welcome.
Today's topic is something that every English learner, and honestly, every human being deals with, something that can feel really scary.
Oh, yes. And Jack, I think you know exactly what I am talking about.
I do. Today we are talking about how to make friends in English, specifically how to start a conversation with someone new and actually make it work.
Yes, and this is not just about grammar or vocabulary. This is about real social English, the kind of English that opens doors, builds connections, and changes your life.
Think about it. Maybe you are at a work event, or at a party, or maybe you moved to a new city and you want to meet people, and in English, and you freeze. You don't know what to say.
Exactly. Your mind goes completely blank. You think, what do I say? What if they don't understand me? What if I make a mistake?
That feeling, we call it social anxiety, and it's incredibly common. Studies show that over 85% of people feel nervous when starting a conversation with a stranger, and that number is even higher for language learners.
So if you feel that way, you are completely normal. You are not alone.
And here's the great news. By the end of this episode, you will have real, practical conversation starters that actually work. Not textbook phrases, not formal, boring phrases, real ones.
Phrases that real English speakers use every single day. Phrases that will make you sound natural, friendly, and confident.
So stay with us, because this episode could seriously change the way you connect with people in English.
All right, let's get started. And before we do, if you are enjoying A1 English Podcast, please like this video and subscribe. It really helps us keep making content for you.
Okay, let's do this.
Okay, Jack, let me ask you something. When you first started learning English, was starting a conversation the hardest part?
100% yes. I could understand English, I could write in English, but the moment I had to walk up to someone and start talking, completely different story.
Why do you think that is?
I think it is because school teaches us grammar and vocabulary, but nobody teaches us how to break the ice. Nobody teaches you what to say in that first 5 seconds.
And those first 5 seconds are everything, right? Research actually shows that people decide in the first 7 seconds whether they want to continue a conversation or not.
7 seconds. That is so short.
It is, but here's what that means for us. If you have just 1 or 2 great opening lines, lines that feel warm, friendly, and genuine, you can pass those 7 seconds perfectly.
And that's exactly what we are teaching today.
Now, a lot of English learners make a specific mistake when it comes to starting conversations. Do you know what it is?
Tell me.
They try to translate from their native language. They think of what they would say in their first language, and then they translate it word by word into English. And sometimes that translation sounds very strange.
Oh, I know this so well. For example, in some languages, when you greet someone, you say something like, "What are you doing?" very literally. But in English, if you walk up to a stranger at a party and say, "What are you doing?" it sounds very strange, almost rude.
Exactly. Or the opposite. Learners think they need to say something very impressive, very smart, very sophisticated, and then they put too much pressure on themselves.
And then nothing comes out.
Right. So today, the key lesson is this. Simple is powerful. The best conversation starters in English are short, warm, and easy, not complicated at all.
That is such an important point. Simple is powerful. Write that down, everyone.
Okay, so let's talk about the different types of conversation starters that work really well in English. We have 4 categories today.
4 categories. I love it. Organized learning.
Category 1, compliments. Category 2, observations. Category 3, questions. And Category 4, shared experiences.
Each one is a different tool in your social toolkit. Let's go through them one by one. All right, Category 1, starting a conversation with a compliment.
This is one of the most natural and warm ways to start a conversation in English. A compliment is when you say something nice, something positive about the other person.
And it works because it immediately creates a positive feeling. The other person feels good, and they naturally want to talk to you more.
Exactly. Now, the key to a good compliment is that it has to feel genuine. It should not sound like you are trying too hard.
Okay, let me give you some examples. Imagine you are at a friend's birthday party. You see someone you don't know, and they're wearing something really nice. You could say,
Hey, I love your jacket. Where did you get it?
"Perfect. Did you notice what happened there? First, she gave the compliment, I love your jacket. Then, immediately, she asked a question, where did you get it? That question opens the conversation.
Right, because now the other person has something to answer. The conversation has a direction.
Let's try another example. You are at a work event. You see a colleague who gave a really good presentation earlier. You walk up and say,
Your presentation was really impressive. I especially loved the part about the new project timeline. How long did it take you to prepare?
beautiful. Specific compliment plus a follow-up question. That's the magic formula.
Yes, compliment plus question equals the perfect opening. Let's call it the C plus Q formula.
C plus Q. I like that.
Now, here's a common mistake that learners make with compliments. They say something like, You are very beautiful dressed today.
Oh, the grammar is wrong there.
Exactly. The mistake is using beautiful to describe dress without the verb have or the verb wear. The correct way is, You are wearing a beautiful dress today. Or even more naturally, that's a beautiful dress.
Simple, clean, and natural. That's a beautiful dress. I love your shoes. Your hair looks amazing today.
See? Short, warm, genuine. That's all you need.
One more important thing about compliments. Be specific when possible. Instead of just saying, nice shirt, say, I love the color of your shirt. That shade of blue is really nice. Specific compliments feel more sincere.
And they are much better conversation starters because they give the other person more to respond to.
All right, everyone, let's do a quick practice. Imagine you are meeting someone new at a gym. They just finished a really impressive workout. What compliment could you give them?
Pause for just a second. Think about it. What would you say?
How about, wow, that was an amazing workout. How long have you been training? Compliment plus question. Perfect.
Great! You're already doing it.
Okay, let's move to category 2, starting a conversation with an observation.
An observation is when you notice something about the situation you are both in and comment on it. This is brilliant because you don't have to think of something clever, you just look around and use what is there.
Exactly. And it works so well because it creates an instant shared experience. You are both in the same place, at the same moment, noticing the same thing.
For example, imagine you are at a coffee shop and the line is really, really long. You could turn to the person next to you and say, Wow, this line is crazy today. Is it always like this?
And immediately, you have a connection. You are both experiencing the same thing. The other person will almost always respond.
Let's try another one. You are at a bookstore. You see someone browsing the same section as you. You could say, There are so many great books here. Have you read anything really good lately?
Oh, I love that one. It is friendly, it shows you have something in common, and the question invites them to share something they enjoy.
That is the secret. Observations that include the other person. Not just, nice day today, but beautiful day today, right? Have you been outside much?
Now let's talk about category 3, starting a conversation with a question.
Questions are incredibly powerful conversation starters because they immediately give the other person the chance to talk about themselves, and people love talking about themselves.
That's actually backed by science. Studies from Harvard show that people feel pleasure, actual happiness, when they talk about themselves. So when you ask someone a good question, you're literally making them feel good.
That's amazing. So good questions are a gift.
Exactly. Now, the key is to ask open questions, questions that cannot be answered with just yes or no. Open questions start with words like what, how, why, tell me about, what do you think about?
Let's compare. Closed question. Do you like living here? The answer is just yes or no. Dead end.
Open question, how long have you lived here? What do you like most about it? Now the person can share a real answer, a story, an opinion. The conversation flows.
Let me give you some great open question conversation starters that work in almost any situation. Ready, Jessica?
Ready.
Number 1. What brought you here today? This works at events, parties, networking meetings, even coffee shops.
Number 2, how do you know name of the host or organizer? Perfect at parties or events.
Number 3. What do you do for fun outside of work? This is great because it moves away from boring work talk and into real personality.
Number 4, have you tried the food here? What do you recommend? At any event with food. Easy, low pressure, and very natural.
Number 5. I heard you mention topic. I'm really interested in that too. What got you into it? This one shows you are listening, which is incredibly attractive in a conversation partner.
These are gold. Seriously. Write these down or screenshot this part.
Now, here's a common mistake with questions. Some learners ask questions that feel like an interview. Too many questions, too fast. What is your name? Where are you from? What do you do? Are you married? Slow down.
That feels like a police interrogation, not a friendly chat. One question, then listen. Then respond to what they said. Then maybe one more question. It's a conversation, not a questionnaire. Listen to respond, not just to ask the next question. That is such important advice.
All right, let's talk about category 4, shared experiences. This is my personal favorite.
Tell us why.
Because shared experiences are the fastest way to create a real bond with someone. When you discover you have something in common with another person, a place you both visited, a show you both love, an experience you both went through, something clicks.
It is like a little spark. Suddenly you feel like you already know this person, even though you just met.
Exactly. And in conversation, you can create these moments by sharing something about yourself and then inviting them to share too. We call this the share and invite technique.
Share and invite. How does it work?
You share something small and personal, not too private, just something relatable. And then you end with a question that invites them to share too.
For example, I just moved to this neighborhood last month. I'm still figuring out all the best places. Do you have any recommendations?
You shared something, I just moved here, and then you invited them. Do you have recommendations? Beautiful. And notice it's also an open question.
Another example, I've been really into hiking lately. I went to the mountains last weekend. It was incredible. Have you been hiking around here?
You shared your interest and experience, and now you invited them to share theirs. If they love hiking, amazing, you have an instant connection. If they don't hike, they might say, "Oh, really? I've never tried it." And now you can talk about that.
The conversation has somewhere to go no matter what they answer. That is smart social English.
Now, let's talk about something that many people forget. What happens after the opening line? You said your conversation starter. Now what?
Great point, because some people have great opening lines, but then the conversation dies after 30 seconds.
The secret is what we call active listening. Active listening means you're not just hearing the words, you're really paying attention and responding to what you hear.
There are 3 simple things you can do to be a great active listener in English. Number 1, react with small verbal responses. Things like, "Oh, really? Wow, that's interesting. I didn't know that. No way."
These tiny reactions tell the other person, I am listening, I am interested, keep talking.
Number 2, repeat a key word from what they said in your response. If someone says, "I just got back from Japan," you say, "Japan. Oh, wow, how was it?" By repeating the word, you show you heard them and you open a new topic.
This technique is called mirroring, and psychologists say it builds trust and connection very fast.
Number 3, share a connection. If they tell you something and you have a related experience or feeling, share it. "Oh, I felt the same way when or "that reminds me of the time I."
Now, you're not just asking and answering, you're building something together. That's what real friendship starts with.
All right, Jessica, let's talk about the most common mistakes people make when trying to make friends in English, because mistakes are actually great teachers.
Absolutely. And I want everyone listening to know these are mistakes that even advanced learners make. So do not feel embarrassed. Just learn from them.
Mistake number 1, waiting for the perfect moment that never comes.
Oh, yes, this is so common. Someone wants to start a conversation, but they think, not now, maybe later. And then the event ends and they never spoke to anyone new.
The truth is, there is never a perfect moment. Good conversationalists create their moment. The longer you wait, the harder it feels. So the rule is, if you think about starting a conversation, do it within 5 seconds. Don't let your brain talk you out of it.
The 5-second rule. We love that one.
Mistake number 2, using very formal or textbook English in casual social situations.
For example, saying, "Greetings, it is a pleasure to make your acquaintance," instead of a simple, "Hey, I'm Jack, nice to meet you."
Formal English has its place. Job interviews, business meetings, official emails, but in social settings, natural, relaxed, slightly informal English feels much warmer and more friendly.
Use contractions. Say, "I'm," not "I am." Say, "That's," not "that is." Say, "It's been," not "it has been." Contractions make you sound human.
Mistake number 3, apologizing too much for your English.
Oh, this one is really important. Many learners start every sentence with, "Sorry, my English is not very good," or they keep stopping and saying, "Sorry, I forgot the word."
And the problem is, when you apologize constantly, it actually makes the conversation feel uncomfortable for both people. The other person doesn't know how to respond to constant apologies.
Here's what you should do instead. If you forget a word, just describe it. Say, "the thing you use to," or "it's like a kind of," or, the word when you... Native speakers do this all the time. It's totally normal.
And if you make a grammar mistake, keep going. Most of the time, the other person understood you perfectly. Communication is about connection, not perfection.
Now, mistake number 4, not smiling enough. This sounds simple, but it's huge.
Research shows that a genuine smile is the single most powerful social signal in any culture. Even before you say one word, a warm, genuine smile tells the other person, "I am safe, I am friendly, I want to connect."
So practice your smile, and not a fake smile, a real one. Think of something that makes you happy and let that warmth show on your face. It changes everything.
Okay, and the last common mistake, giving up after one awkward conversation.
Yes, sometimes a conversation starter doesn't work. Sometimes someone is not in the mood to talk. Sometimes you say something and it feels weird. That's completely normal.
Even the most socially skilled people have awkward conversations. The difference is they move on. They try again. They don't interpret one bad experience as proof that they can never make friends in English.
Every conversation is practice, and every conversation, good or awkward, makes you better.
All right, let's put everything together with a complete real-life scenario. Jessica, let's role play.
Oh, I love a good role play. Okay, let's do it. I will be the person you meet. You start a conversation with me.
Okay, we are at an English language meetup event. I don't know you. Here we go. Hey, is this your first time at one of these meetups?
Actually, yes. I just moved here 3 weeks ago, and someone told me this would be a great way to practice English. I'm Jack, by the way.
Oh, wow, welcome. I'm Jack. 3 weeks? That's so recent. Where did you move from?
I moved from Brazil, actually. Still figuring out the city. It's a bit overwhelming, honestly.
I totally understand that feeling. I moved here 2 years ago, and I remember that first month being a lot to handle. What part of the city are you living in?
I'm in the downtown area, near the Central Park.
Oh, nice. Have you explored much around there? There's this amazing little cafe about 5 minutes from the park. I think you would love it.
No, not yet. What is it called?
See how natural that was? Let's break down what I did.
First, she used an observation question. Is this your first time here? Super easy opener.
Then, when he gave an answer, I used the mirroring technique. I repeated 3 weeks to show I was listening. Then I asked a follow-up open question.
Then she used the share and invite technique. She shared her own experience of moving to the city, which made me feel less alone, and then asked another question.
And by the end, I was giving a recommendation, which means I was already being helpful, already being a potential friend.
The whole conversation only took about 30 seconds, but it covered compliments, observations, open questions, active listening skills, mirroring, and shared experience.
And it felt completely natural, not scripted, not rehearsed, just warm, human connection.
That is exactly what you can do. All of you listening right now.
All right, let's do a quick summary of everything we learned today.
First, we learned that simple is powerful. The best conversation starters in English are short, warm, and genuine, not complicated.
Second, we learned our 4 conversation starter categories: compliments, observations, questions, and shared experiences.
Third, we talked about the C plus Q formula, compliment plus question, and the share and invite technique.
Fourth, we covered active listening skills, small reactions, mirroring key words, and sharing connections.
And fifth, we talked about common mistakes like apologizing too much, using overly formal language, and waiting for the perfect moment that never comes.
Most importantly, remember this: making friends in English is not about being perfect. It is about being genuine. It is about showing people that you are interested in them, that you see them, that you want to connect.
Every person you talk to is also hoping for connection. Even if they look confident, even if their English is perfect, they want to feel seen and heard just as much as you do.
So the next time you are in a situation where you could start a conversation, take a breath, pick one of the tools from today, and go for it.
You have everything you need. You just need to practice.
And we'll be right here with you, every step of the way.
If this episode helped you, please hit the like button. It takes 2 seconds and it genuinely helps us so much.
And subscribe to A1 English Podcast so you never miss a new episode. We upload new content every week to help you improve your English naturally and confidently.
Thank you so much for being here today. You're amazing for taking time to invest in yourself and your language journey.
Keep practicing, keep going, and remember, every conversation is one step closer to fluency.
Goodbye, everyone.
Bye. See you in the next episode.